guys, welcome. Today we are doing our yoga stretch and relaxation or meditation if you'd like to call it that. So you'll need a mat or a clear space. I have a pillow. If you have a bolster, that's fine. And it's just to sit up on for the beginning of class. And then I also have a strap or a scarf, something like that, for a little bit of deeper stretching. So we are going to be doing everything on the ground today, so it'll be a much more relaxing experience. We're not going to do any working poses really, but just our focus is to breathe and relax. And so you can see Lucy has started relaxing. We hope that she will stay that way for the remainder of our practice. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start seated. And I'm going to sit up on my pillow or my bolster. It's a nice way to help ourselves sit up a little taller. So I'm kneeling. You can sit cross-legged. And one thing that bolster helps us do is find evenness to the sitting bones so that your right and left sitting bones are grounded. You can turn your palms downward to anchor a little bit more, or you can turn your palms upward to receive energy. Wherever you are, let's close our eyes. And just start to breathe in and out. Inhale in fresh air, fresh intention. And then exhale consciously, forcing the air away. And with it, just letting go of anything we don't need for this next half hour or so. Just let everything go. Inhale through the nose, filtering and warming the air. And then exhale out through the mouth. And as you exhale out through the mouth, just really sigh out that breath. Maybe let your shoulders take a little release down your back. And just think about that inhale opening your heart, lifting. And that exhale dropping down. One more inhale here through the nose. And then sigh out through the mouth. Now you can stay with that breath. Or you can start to breathe in that ujjayi breath, which is that inhale in through the nose and out again through the nose. Close your eyes and soften your face. As you inhale, fill up. As you exhale, let it go. And again, if you're breathing out through the nose, you'll feel a warming in the back of your throat. And you can, of course, breathe out through the mouth. Our goal in these first few moments is just to breathe, to let everything external to our mat stay there. We can always pick it up when we're done. But for now, just focus on that perfect rhythm of breath and focus on how the body feels. Maybe you're feeling some tightness in hips or shoulders. Just notice without trying to fix or judge or change. Good. Taking one more breath in stillness. And then letting it go. We're going to reach that left arm up. Right arm is going to come to the side. Up and over. And then we'll go back the other way. So as we go side to side here, you can have your fingertips lightly touching. Or if it feels better, you can have your whole palm touching. And we're just swaying back and forth a few times. Again, feel those sitting bones stay grounded. If you're sitting cross-legged, this might be a good chance to switch the leg that you've crossed over top, because I bet that you've chosen your favorite side. Just to get evenness, maybe switch which leg is crossed on top of the other. If you're more in this kneeling posture with me, just stay here moving. Inhale to lift and exhale to press over. Good. Let's do maybe one more time to either side. Beautiful. And then come back to center. Good. Take your arms beside you. You can clasp your fingers if you like. You can keep them apart if that feels better for your shoulders. Lift your heart, maybe even wobble side to side to find your center. As you open through the throat, let your chin tilt gently upward. Take a beautiful inhale and exhale, soften those shoulders. One more inhale and then exhale, break apart the hands. Let's start to walk over towards our right. Inhale to lift. And exhale, walk through the center over towards your left. inhale, sit up tall. And then exhale, just migrate through the center and to your other side. Feel your head stay right in line with the spine. And just think of wringing out any tension we might have in that low back. Go into your edge of tension. No need to force. So again, our practice today is very gentle. Just let your body move as it feels good to do so. So much of our day, even some of our exercises, right? We're forcing ourselves, we're pushing ourselves. So today, just let ourselves be exactly where we are. No place that we need to be. Good. Let's do one more time. Walking through the center. And then sitting up tall. And let's finish equally. And then come back to the center. Good. And then just roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Nice and relaxed. Good. And then let your shoulders settle down. Take your chin across. And go back. And I would suggest just going shoulder to shoulder rather than doing full head rolls unless you know they are in your practice. Beautiful. Just get that nice release of your neck where we do carry so much tension. When you've done that equally to either side, come back through the center, parallel the chin with the floor. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Let the left arm reach and feel this nice upper trapezius stretch. Think of reaching your fingers down. Take one more inhale and sigh it out through mouth or through nose. And then come to the other side. So again, reach that arm and just feel your shoulders sink into the shoulder socket. Keep your sitting bones grounded. We're going to change our posture, coming off this bolster or out of this seated position. One more inhale and one more exhale. Then one more time, come back to center. Take a big expansion again. Maybe clasp the fingers, maybe keep them apart. Pull your heart forward, squeezing your mid-back and lifting your chest, tilting your chin upward, opening through the throat. And that head is just that beautiful extension of your spine. One more full deep inhale and one more complete releasing exhale. Release your hands. Let's come off this. We could use it later on if we'd like, so we'll just set it to the side. Sweep your legs around to the side and we're going to carefully lower down onto our backs. So you can grab hold and roll yourself down. So as you roll yourself down, your hands can be as wide as you want. The wider your hands, the more support you're giving yourself. Power into the feet and spread the toes. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, tip the pelvis to the ribs. And then inhale, roll it away. So we're feeling our low back melt down and extend off. So being maybe a little emphatic with these movements, just to warm through that low back. And maybe release any tension we're holding there. Exhale down and inhale, release. Next exhale, let's peel the spine off the floor. Reach your knees from your forehead. Take an inhale at the top. And exhale, roll down vertebra by vertebra. So rolling bridge, hip rolls. One of my favorite things to do anytime my back is a little tight. This is a great chance to also check into the body. Sometimes we might be holding tension and not even notice it. Going through our day of sitting and maybe running, going a million miles a minute. So when you take the time to find your yoga practice, it's a great opportunity to check in, to notice where we're holding tension. So notice here if there are spaces along the spine that roll a little better than other spaces. Continue to feel your shoulders slide away from the ears, sinking into the shoulder sockets. Reach your knees away from your forehead and roll yourself down. Let's do 2 more times. Use your breath to curl up Use your inhale to expand and widen, and your exhale to guide the back sequentially downward. One more time. And we'll make our way down to the bottom. Once we do, we're back into that neutral spine, that level pelvis, gentle arch under the back. Let's take our arms out to the side. They can be long or bent like goalposts. Feel your scapula anchor the floor. Feel a width in your chest. Sometimes this is even a deep stretch. Go ahead, take your feet out, maybe mat width or a little wider. Knock your knees together so your right knee rests against your left. Feel your sacrum, base of your spine, heavy. Feel your shoulder blades and the back of the ribs heavy. And feel that natural arch under your back. Take a couple of breaths here. Again, inhale, full deep breaths. And exhale, completely releasing that tension. Inhale through the nose and exhale through nose or through mouth. One more breath in stillness. And then we'll start to add that movement. Sway your knees to one side and then the other. So these are just our windshield wipers for our low back. So just feel as you come through the center, sacrum nice and heavy. You can turn your gaze away from your knees. Just feel that twist from crown of the head to base of the spine. And we'll do a couple more times. Exhale to one side, inhale to the other, and then exhale to the other side. Beautiful. One more time to each side. And then when you get around to the initial side, we're going to stay there for a moment. Just let your shoulder blades anchor down. So feel that opposite scapula really widen itself into the floor. Just breathe into the sides and back of the ribs. Feel that gentle release in the lower, the middle back. One more inhale and one more exhale. And then we'll move over to the other side. So notice here, the knees are not stacked. And if you have very flexible inner thighs, you might want to play around with taking the feet a little wider when you do this one. Get a good inner thigh release. Keeping your shoulder blades anchored. Feel that breath go wide into the sides and back of the ribs. One more inhale and one more exhale. Now come back to center. Walk your feet together, zip your inner thighs, and roll all the way to one side. So notice now that your knees are nice and stacked. Let's bring our hands here, or though you can cushion your head if you'd like and just let it lay on that. And we're going to start a big circle, sunrise arm, and then we're going to come back. So we're just going to go back and forth a few times. Inhale to go back, and exhale. So it's similar to that port de bras we often use to warm up in Pilates. But again, just kind of lubricating the shoulder, noticing any spaces of tension or tightness. And again, seek to notice without necessarily judging and without necessarily trying to fix. Just become aware. And then we'll hold on the back and expand that chest. Turn your gaze away from your knees, keeping your knees stacked, shoulder blades anchored into the floor. Now you could bend them in half. Sometimes that's helpful to widen the chest as you feel an opening through the collarbone area. One more inhale and one more exhale. Now you can just turn around. I'm going to flip around so my back is not towards you. So same thing. We're going to stack our knees and we'll stack our hands. Although again, you can cushion your head here if you'd like. And we're going to do that sunrise arm. So sweep and go back. Now, this is where we're probably going to notice that one side has a little bit more movement than the other. So you might notice some stickiness as you make this movement, some resistance. And again, there's no need to go to a point where it doesn't feel good. Your body is very good at letting you know when we've hit our end range. And let's do just a couple more times. Inhale to open and exhale to close, letting your eyes follow the fingers. Beautiful. Now next time will be our last one, and then we'll hold on the back. Now as you hold on the back again, you can keep your arms nice and long as your shoulder blades seek the floor. Now play around with how the palms are facing, so you can turn them downward, upward. You can bend your elbows. Try to keep your knees stacked. Super glue your ankles, knees, inner thighs as you turn your gaze away from your bent knees. Take full deep breaths into the body. Feel the side of the body rise up on the inhale and feel the body sink on that exhale. One more inhale and one more exhale. And then we'll go ahead and press ourselves up into all fours. So as we come onto all fours, take your hands directly under your shoulders. Your knees are under your hips. You're going to inhale, open, and then exhale, curl. Inhale, expand, and then exhale, tuck your tailbone. Notice how your head is just an afterthought, bending with the breath. Inhaling, squeezing the scapula, opening. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone and rounding. And again, feel free to close your eyes to find a softness in the face. Find an ease in the breath and an ease in your movement. Again, trying today to not force anything. I know those of us that are maybe very type A personalities, we always want to push. So today, really just think about letting yourself be where you are and being okay with that. Beautiful. Let's roll back into a nice rounded shell stretch. So you can have your feet a little wider if you want. Reach your arms out in front. You're curling your low back. You're still kind of tucking the tailbone. Soften your shoulders. Take a deep full inhale in through the nose. Sigh out that breath through mouth or nose. And then inhale, snake forward and curl. So again, just a slightly different variation of that cat and cow. Inhale, open, and exhale, round. Let your elbows hit the ground. Let your head reach forward and then tuck under. Think about everything moving in one fluid line. Last two. Inhale to open and exhale one more time. And then come back between those two extremes. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll back the knees back an inch or 2 inches. Tuck your toes and find your downward dog. As you spread your fingers wide, really anchor down into the floor. Take your thumb away from the first finger and radiate the weight away from your wrist. As you lift your tailbone, think of widening the sitting bones. Let your head hang down and look back at your feet. They're about hip distance. Hips, knees, and toes are straight ahead. Let's start to bend our right knee and our left, or left and right, and feel a shift of those hips side to side. Feel that release of each heel to or towards the floor. Remember, it's unimportant whether we're actually touching the floor. Let's do that one more time, and then feel your heels reach downward. Take one more inhale, and then sigh it out. Set your knees down, and find an extension stretch. So your hips are high, your arms are long. Your forehead just collapses towards the floor. Your body is very similar to that of your downward dog. Keep your tailbone lifted and let your heart melt towards the mat. One more inhale and one more exhale, and then we'll roll back towards the heels. Now again, you have that nice curled spine. Take your arms beside you, or you can clasp your fingers. I'm just going to face you. Now, as you're here, take a nice inhale. Exhale, soften the shoulders. Inhale, elevate your hips. Tap your forehead, and then let your arms lift up on the exhale. Again, you can have your fingers clasped, or you can have your arms apart. As you squeeze the scapula together, you're feeling that chest expansion. Feel the weight light on your forehead as you breathe wide into the sides and back of the rib cage. Feel free to soften the muscles of your face as that inhale widens and that exhale gently sinks you down. And then allow your arms to come back to the hips back to the heels, break apart the hands, and crawl forward. So you're now on all fours. Let's take the right arm up, and then we'll thread it through. Now as you do this, your other arm could walk straight. You could keep it bent for more stability. You could take it off and even wrap it behind you. Whatever feels good, your body, like in downward dog. That long slope, hips to fingertips. Breathing with every inhale, and finding that sinking sensation with every exhale. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out through mouth or through nose. One more inhale, and one more exhale. And then bending that top elbow if it's not already. Push the floor away, you're back to all fours. Go ahead and take your left arm up and thread it through. Bring your cheek to or towards the floor. Remember that you can keep your top elbow bent. You could walk that arm straight. You could lift it off and wrap it behind for a deeper shoulder stretch. Wherever you are, just enjoy being there. Maybe close your eyes. Focus on the breath. Focus on letting yourself melt into this place. One more inhale. One more exhale. And if it's not already, bend that top elbow. Push into that. Extricate that bottom arm as you bring the bones of your big toes together. Slide back into an open knee child's pose. So how open your knees are is up to you. Think about pushing your arms gently in front of you as you allow your hips to slide back. So feel the shoulders soften. Just take one more inhale in stillness and let it go. Walk a few handprints or more over to your right, choosing to either keep both hands down, or you can wrap that other arm behind. So reaching out with that left on the diagonal, pressing the hips gently back so they're centered. Just like at the very beginning, we centered those sitting bones. Here as well, feel that sensation. And then we'll come back through the center and then over to side two. So again, both hands can stay down, or we can wrap that left arm behind as we feel that stretch, maybe under the armpit, to the middle, to the low back. Keep your breath flowing. And then coming back to your center, walk your knees back straight ahead, and you're back into this rounded shell stretch. Allow your arms to come beside you as you inhale, lift up into that open heart, and exhale, round. Just like in cat and cow, use your inhale to open, expand, and use your exhale to curl and deepen, moving with your own perfect breath pace. Never feeling rushed, never feeling held back. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Now holding at the top, you can take your fists or hands to the side of the sacrum. Tip your hips forward. Now as you do that, you can stay right here if you wish. You can push into the balls of the feet, elevate your heels, and reach back one hand at a time, still feeling your gluteals activate to help protect the back. Squeezing the heart open by activating your mid-back. Remember, if this doesn't feel good, come right back up here wherever you are. Let that heart be open, that throat be open, and that head come in line with the spine. One more inhale, one more exhale, And then bring your fists back here if they're not already. Take a very rounded shell stretch. Let your arms come beside you and maybe curl yourself into a little ball shape. Take an inhale and exhale, side out. Let's sweep the legs around to the side. Have a seat. Now, just like at the beginning, we want to widen our sitting bones, keep our sitting bones grounded. That might necessitate bending the knees. Legs could be long. We'll inhale, open, and then exhale, start to walk down. Now remember, you could grab your feet if that feels like a necessary place to be. You could rest your hands on shins. You could wrap your arms behind your hamstrings. Work more on rounding the back. Maybe again, let's sway side to side to find center between your sitting bones. Soften your shoulders and close your eyes. And remember, just because you grab your feet does not make you a better person. So take this where you need it. One more inhale and one more exhale. And then you'll roll yourself up carefully. Bend your knees. Make sure you have your strap or your scarf. And we'll roll ourselves down vertebra by vertebra. Grab hold of this, taking that right ball of the foot into your strap, into your scarf. That left leg is long. Flex your foot upward to feel like half release. Bend your elbows and let the back of the arms rest into your carpet, into your mat. And just feel that length down the back of the leg. It doesn't matter how far we're going. This just adds a little layer of assistance. And yes, you can hold on to the hamstring and calf if you don't have a strap or a scarf. Let's take both ends into your left hand and drape that across, maybe looking away, letting the opposite shoulder blades stay down, breathing fully into the back and the sides of the ribs. And if you're working to stretch the IT band a little more, let's focus on keeping a straight leg and maybe don't worry about going so far. If you want to stretch a little more of the outer hip in the back, you can slightly bend the knee and let the leg go a little further. Up to you. One more inhale, one more releasing exhale, and then we'll come back to center. Hold both ends into the right hand, same hand as the leg. Let your left arm open out to the side as that leg goes out to the side. Still feeling that reach of your heel out and away. Think about anchoring that other hip so both hip points are shining upward. Deep, full breaths. And then we'll come back to center. Take one more release. Maybe reach the heel upward and pull the toes downward a little more. Low back stays connected to the mat. And then bend through that knee and switch. So I have a pretty open scarf, so I take the ball of the foot against it and let your right leg go long. Now, how long is up to you? You can bend it slightly, a lot. Good. Allow the back of the arms to rest. That'll help take the tension from your neck. So you can think about just letting the hamstring, the calf release without building tension elsewhere. One more inhale and one more exhale. And then take both hands into that right, or both ends into that right, and take it across. And as you're here again, you can turn your gaze. If your eyes are closed at this point, you can just turn your head with your eyes shut. Starting to feel the breath becoming slower as we are connected to the floor. And then come back to center. Hold both ends into that left. Let the leg open out to the side. Maybe use your right arm as leverage as you're really pushing that heel away. Think of both hip points shining towards the ceiling. Both shoulder blades anchoring down as you feel width in the chest. Release in the inner thigh. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then we'll come back up to center. Reaching that heel upward, softening your shoulders. Take another moment here. Just enjoy this moment. And then we'll bend our knee, release. then hug your knees in and roll them in a circle. Massage your back one way, massage your back the other way, and then you can bring the soles of your feet together. So your upper body might naturally want to lift off the floor, might naturally want to stay down. Let your elbows gently press against the inner thighs, thinking about coaxing without forcing. Allow the chest to be wide and the sacrum heavy. And just take a couple of breaths here. Deep inhales through the nose, complete exhales through mouth or through nose. We're getting ready to move into our relaxation or meditation, whatever you'd like to call it. So you'll have the option of using your bolster or sitting up or laying down. Let's bring the knees together. Reach your arms overhead, point your toes, and arch as much of the back off the floor as you can. Maybe think of reaching more right and left. Just get a full big stretch. And then hug your knees in. If you're caring for your knees, holding underneath, bring some tension into your body as you bring your nose towards your knee, and then just let it go. Now, you can stay right here, taking up some space on your mat. If you're taking care of your back, you can bend your knees, even maybe knock the knees together like we did earlier. If you'd like, you can use your pillow or your bolster right under your knees to create a little release for your back, or you can use it under your upper body. So wherever you are, just let yourself be there for a few moments. So again, maybe you want to open the chest here. Up to you. Find a comfortable place, and let's start to bring our awareness to the breath. As we become still in the body, just focus on that perfect rhythm of inhales and exhales. Every inhale pulls in fresh air, fresh intention, and every exhale releases tension, releases anything we don't need, anything not serving us right now. And as we keep our mind with the breath, the body releases, the fingers and toes let go of their grip. Feel the belly rise and fall a little slower as the breath becomes slower. Let the weight of the arms draw the shoulders downward and widen the chest. Allow the neck to be long as the jaw hangs open and the tongue rests. As we shut our eyes softly, we soften the muscles of the face, unlining that crease between the eyebrows, and gently softening the forehead, just letting the body, the face, be still, be quiet, and then turn our attention to letting the mind be quiet, giving ourselves permission to be here without movement, without thought, just allowing ourselves this opportunity to exist in this space. Feel free to stay here as long as serves you. If you're ready to move on with your day, start to roll your fingers, your toes. Open and close the palms, and then bend one knee at a time. Roll onto your favorite side, and just rest your head into your arms. Draw your knees up towards your chest, and let your hips sink into the floor. Feeling supported. Just letting yourself remain here for a moment, melting into the floor. Only when you're ready, with as little effort as possible, press yourself up into comfortable seated. And you can sit however you can sit, with a straight, upright torso and a beautiful neutral lumbar spine. You can, of course, sit up on your bolster. Let's bring our hands to heart center, gently bowing the head as we release the back of the neck, feeling that energy between the palms, the heat between the hands, keeping our mind on that slow, perfect rhythm of each inhale and each exhale. And as we keep our mind with our breath, we take this opportunity to remind ourselves that whatever happens this day or any other, the calm that we feel right now is within us always. May we always be able to find it. And we'll end our practice with Namaste. So thanks so much for joining us here at Social Distance Fitness and taking some time for yourself. I know it's not always easy. We appreciate having you here. So Lucy is very relaxed. She was just relaxing off the mat. So we appreciate having you here. We hope to see you again. Have a great rest of your day.